Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today we've got a race recap. We're racing the Tour of Tewit Well. This is a WTRL Racing Tuesday night now that the Zwift Racing League has finished. And we're going to talk about the Zwift Racing League, give it a little recap, and we're also going to talk about Zwift in general on this vlog. Now, the actual course itself that I'm racing today is the Tour of Tewit Well. It's 21.6 kilometers, 406 meters worth of climbing. And I actually used the most sort of climbing frame that I possibly could with the lightweight wheels, which was a bit of a mistake, to be honest with you. I just forgot to change it from my last ride. But it was interesting for me to see how much of a difference this actually made. So before we get into the race, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the Zwift Racing League, which is now finished for the season. Now, there were 3 different seasons. It started back in September. September 13th was round 1, 2022. And that season comprised of Climbers, Gambit, Park Perimeter. There was a Wandering Flats team time trial, Champs-Élysées, Legends and Lava, and then the Eastern 8 to finish it off. Now, looking back at it, I think actually season 1 was my favourite in terms of the courses. However, there was quite a few that incorporated Titans Grove KOM, which wasn't my favourite. It was okay, but it would have been nice to have seen something a little bit different, like a course that we'd maybe never seen before. Season 2 then, that comprised of Rulmapool, Greater London Flat, and then there was a 2 Bridges Loop, Sprinters Playground, Team Time Trial in Woodtopia's Waistband. In fact, there was 2 team time trials. Greater London Flat was one of those as well. And then to finish it off, there was Cobbled Climbs, which was my best result out of the whole of season 1, 2 and 3. I actually finished 31, and that was probably the longest one. Enjoyed season 2 as well. Nice to kick it off in France, which is one of my favourite maps. So yeah, overall 2 pretty enjoyable seasons there. And then season 3, unfortunately I was ill for the first little bit, so I only raced Neon Flats, the RGV team time trial, and then finally the Rolling Highlands. So, you know, overall for me, I would say it's been a pretty enjoyable 3 seasons of the Zwift Racing League. They mixed it up quite a bit. It would have been nice to have seen Innsbruck in there. That's one of my sort of favourite courses, but, you know, I understand why they mix it about quite a bit. And, yeah, coming on to my next point then. So now that that's finished, what is the plan for the summer? Obviously now Caedmon Cycling will disappear from YouTube for the next 6 months, like he did last year. Hopefully not, though. But I understand that a lot of people will now, you know, go across and start to cycle outdoors rather than Zwift. And I have to admit that last year I didn't really do a lot of outdoor cycling, and even throughout the summer I would stick to a Zwift training and Zwift riding, even at the weekends, to be honest with you, which was interesting because the year before that I spent a lot of time outdoors. Now, I think this year I'm going to try and do a little bit of both. I feel like I've been indoors and Zwifting inside now because of the weather for quite some time. So I'm actually really looking forward to doing some, you know, real life climbs, some real life, you know, exploring on the bike, and, you know, just to sort of mix it up a little bit. I'm still gonna definitely Zwift though, I have to admit, for things like training, and I will do the odd race on Zwift still, just to keep my hand in, really, because there's nothing worse than, you know, next September when the Zwift Racing League comes around again, you know, that sort of horrible sick feeling like I've lost all my fitness. I'm not sure if anyone else feels like that happens when they spend the summer outside. It's always sort of, Zwift fitness is very much different to outdoor fitness, but I've always tried to complement my outdoor riding with the Zwift stuff that I do. So what will you be doing? Will you be doing sort of a lot more outdoor rides, or are you going to sort of calm down what you're going to be doing on Zwift? I think it's always sort of difficult when it's, you know, the sun is blazing outside, it's nice and hot to sit on your indoor trainer. Anyway, I'd be really interested to hear your thoughts and comments and what you'll be doing during the summer months. And obviously, I am in the Northern Hemisphere, so there will be those of you that live in the Southern Hemisphere that are probably going to experience winter that will probably be hopping on Zwift. Anyway, back to this race recap here. I know I've sort of done most of it with a voiceover and talking about Zwift. However, this race itself didn't have massive expectations coming into it because of the bike. Unfortunately, I thought I would get dropped. Although it wasn't particularly the wrong, it wasn't the wrong course to have an aero bike. So I've fallen off the front group here, which you've probably seen, and it's just myself and this one other chap who have been battling it out for sort of the midway through this lap. Now, it was actually quite a strange one because on the inclines I seemed to pull away a little bit. So this one I was fully expected to get dropped here and to just sort of cement 7th place, but I actually managed to hold down a decent amount of power here, just sort of a bit of VO2, and then sort of into some threshold, and I actually pull away a little bit of a gap, which I was quite surprised about. 4 seconds already in front, and all I want to be doing here is just making sure that I finish in 6th position and just give myself a bit of a workout. And I think sometimes that's what racing can do. If you're racing against someone like I am, even if the race is not going to be won, you can still get yourself a decent workout, which is exactly what I managed to do here. Now, I have pulled away a little bit of a gap, so it went up to 6 seconds there, but on the flat here you can see it's really coming back, and the chap that's behind me is actually quite fast on the flats. Whether or not my bike has anything to do with that, I'm not sure, but he really pulled back 6 seconds just on that sort of little flat bit. You can see I'm not sort of wasting too much energy on this incline, trying to prepare myself for a sprint finish still, because even though it's just me and this one other person, it's still good to get the little wins, and winning this one against this one guy who I've been with for most of the lap would be pretty good. So take my normal position, don't want to let him get away too far, and the plan is just to go just now. Here we go. And yeah, putting down a few watts. Now, interestingly, I've actually sort of taken away my rocker plate, and I have to admit it has had a massive impact with my sort of 15-second sprint, but that is for another video. Anyway, I come across the line here in 6th position for my category, which is pretty good. Well, quite happy for that for me. I actually get 3rd place on Zwift Power of the 4 riders that actually were on Zwift Power, so yeah, that was interesting, but I'll take it. A podium is a podium at the end of the day. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the video, everybody, and I'll see you on the next one.